I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Silly Jedi! Silly Jedi!
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Alrighty. So we're live. Welcome to Jedi Toy Masters. And it's been a while. It's been a minute. Yes, I'm live on Instagram right now. I'm live on YouTube right now. And I'm already getting questions. Yes, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about the Star Wars Retro Collection. We're going to talk about Star Wars Vintage Collection. We're going to talk about Star Wars in general. And I'm going to have to take my headphones off because I'm getting an echo. I'm like repeating myself and it's bothering me. So I'm going to take it off. Levels look good, so we're just going to go. Okay, so here we go. So welcome to Jedi Toy Masters. I'm Maurice Mercado, Jedi Toy Masters, and on Instagram, Jedi Toy Masters here on YouTube. But this podcast is called Jedi Toy Masters Star Wars Car Talk. And usually I'm in the car. As you can see, I'm not in the car. I'm in my house on the computer. And we actually took a 2-week kind of like hiatus from the podcast, from the show, because for obvious reasons, just dealing with the change that has happened with this virus and everything that's been going on, and kind of been on quarantine. So, there's that. And, but now I figured, I was able to kind of get everything ready. Been working from home for the last month almost. And I figured let's do a Star Wars car talk, but can't do it from the car, obviously. So let me just set it up. And in fact, I raised the bar and I said, let me just do it live. So I'm doing it live right now on YouTube. So if you're watching this live, welcome to the stream. If you're watching this later, or if you're watching this on podcast form, as this will be released on podcast form later as well, thank you for joining us tonight. And I'm also on Instagram live. So if you're on Instagram, what's up? Thank you for joining me there. So I figured tonight we'll just talk a little bit about, I don't want to make this too long. Usually our episodes are about, 20, 25 minutes maybe, sometimes shorter. Depends. Usually I'm in the car driving. So it's wherever I'm driving to is how long that takes me, that's the show. And I like it that way. It's a nice little bite-sized podcast that you can listen to or that you can watch. But tonight we're here in my humble abode, and we're going to talk Star Wars. So there's a lot of stuff that's been happening. First of all, the Clone Wars. Let's just talk about that. Clone Wars is, oh my gosh, what can I say about the Clone Wars? I'm loving it, guys. I'm loving Clone Wars Season 7. It has been just amazing. Really, it's just like, it's one of those things that, man, I can't say enough about this show. When Clone Wars first came out, when it was first, when it first was released, right after Revenge of the Sith, back in 2005, and then Clone Wars came out, and I really wasn't that into it, to my shame. It wasn't something that I actively watched. It was on Cartoon Network. The episodes sometimes felt like they were out of order, which later on we found out that they were. And it was just kind of weird. But now it's just amazing. Clone Wars is literally amazing. So again, if you're joining us on Instagram, thank you. We are actually live also on YouTube. So Jedi Toy Masters on YouTube, we're live right now. This is Star Wars Car Talk. Usually it's a podcast that I recorded in my car, but obviously I can't record it in my car. But anyway, I digress. We're talking about Clone Wars right now, and then we're going to move on to some of the releases that Hasbro has had. So let me switch over to, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll get the benefit of seeing what I see. I have my screen pulled up. So Clone Wars, man. Oh, what an amazing show. This 7th season, I'm just so happy that this show came back. that they were given. It was given the respect that it deserved, and they were able to just bring it back for this last season. And I'm like super pumped because I know that it's going to lead right into episode 3. So, for all the complaints about the prequels and, say what you will about the overuse of green screen, and say what you will about just maybe the script, maybe the dialogue, and maybe even the story and all that. I feel like the Clone Wars animated show has just enhanced the prequels to another level. When you look at the world and how it was just expanded and how it was just explored so much more in this show, it just makes the movies, it makes those 3 movies just that much better, that much more epic. A lot of times we kind of put the original trilogy on this pedestal, and we should. They're amazing. The original trilogy is amazing. I grew up on them. I'm OG all the way. But when you think about it, they're very simple. They're simple stories. They're contained, and I think they're safe that way. There's things that are happening in the original trilogy that we don't see. It's something. It's we hear about. We kind of could imagine what it could be like. A lot of the stuff that's happening. I mean, right off the bat in A New Hope, the Star Wars, the original 1977 Star Wars, you hear about, the Emperor disbanded the Senate. So now, what does that mean? Like, there's a Senate? Who's the Emperor? So you hear, there's all these things that you hear about you don't ever see. And I think the prequels, went in the opposite direction, where we saw a lot and maybe too much. And then we didn't see enough of the things that maybe to us mattered in the story. So I think Clone Wars just kind of fills in those gaps. It has so many callbacks. I mean, look at this. You have Darth Maul right there in the poster for the final season. I mean, Darth Maul, when we saw him chopped in half in The Phantom Menace, I was bummed. I'm like, wait, that's it? That's it? No more Darth Maul? Like, you set up this amazing villain, and that's it? I mean, I would have loved to have seen him continue in episode 2, and I would have loved to have seen, the rematch in live action form of Darth Maul and Obi-Wan, and maybe even Darth Maul and Anakin. That would have been great. I think as great as Count Dooku is as a character, how amazing would it have been in episode 2 if you have Darth Maul kind of be the villain, the thrust that kind of pushes Anakin a little bit closer to the dark side, and maybe tempts him. I mean, that would have been kind of cool to play around with that. But nonetheless, again, the Clone Wars really just the Clone Wars basically created the Mandalorian, created the Mandalore. We wouldn't have the Mandalorian TV show if without the Clone Wars cartoon. Ahsoka, a character that a lot of people didn't really like in the beginning, and I'll be the first to admit, like, she was kind of annoying, and I was not on board in the beginning. I was like, wait, who is this character? How come we don't hear about her in episode 3? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out why we don't hear of her in episode 3. But she's become like one of the favorite characters of Star Wars. She's become like, I think she's right up there with Luke Skywalker as, character. She almost steals the show, almost steals the thunder from Anakin. When you think about it, Anakin's story is so finite. It's, he's going to turn into Darth Vader eventually. Spoiler alert. But Ahsoka is still like it's still a very fluid character, where, we still don't know everything that there is to know about Ahsoka, and we know that she ends up in Star Wars Rebels, another great show that kind of breathed even more life into the original trilogy era, and she only enhanced it by her character being involved in it, and now she's going to be in The Mandalorian, which takes place after Return of the Jedi. So now we're talking sequel trilogy time, kind of. It's that in between time between episode 6 and 7, which that is an era that I would love to see more of in live action form. I would love to see another animated show, maybe a show about kind of like a sequel to Star Wars Rebels. That would be amazing too. So, by the way, just to mention it again, we are live right now on Instagram, and we're live right now on YouTube. So if you go to Jedi Toy Masters on YouTube, we're live. This is a Star Wars special, Star Wars Card Talk, live, not in the car, in my house. So we're talking a little bit Clone Wars Season 7, and we're going to get into some of Hasbro's releases. I'm going to throw on the old glasses because I had to make the window small so that I can see. So hopefully that's kind of cool. That's, doesn't make me look like a... Hopefully you still recognize me. There's no like Clark Kent Superman situation going on here. Anyway, Clone Wars, amazing show. And then we find out that she's going to be in season 2 of The Mandalorian. I think that is awesome. I mean, come on. And that Rosario Dawson is going to play her. Like, how amazing is that? Like, Rosario Dawson's going to play Ahsoka. Now, I said this before in a previous episode a few weeks ago. I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I just think it's exciting. I just think it's exciting that we're going to get a live-action Ahsoka. So, it's going to be interesting. Now, if you want to see what I'm looking at right now, you got to jump over to YouTube, Jedi Toy Masters. We are live on YouTube as well. We're live here on Instagram just to say hi, because there's an amazing community right here. We got Rebel Base Cards. We have Nostalgic Dan, Nostalgica Damn, and Jaco Toy Collectors. We love you guys. So jump over to YouTube and check us out over there. But Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. At first, I was just like, okay. I mean, she's been kind of like the fan favorite. There's so much fan fiction, and not fan fiction, but fan art portraying Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. I mean, just Google it. I mean, I'm looking at some right now, and there is definitely, I mean, really, you don't really have to do much makeup-wise, aside from obviously, the skin tone. But she looks like she could be like an older Ahsoka, like an adult Ahsoka. So it's going to be interesting. The only thing is, there is that Ahsoka's voice is so... Ashley Eckstein, I believe is her last name. I hope I'm saying that right. But she's amazing as Ahsoka. That her voice, and it just transmits through the voice, the character of Ahsoka, and she is Ahsoka. So that's gonna be interesting to see how she sounds, what her sound is gonna be like in Mandalorian season 2. But we're excited. This is an exciting time. This is an exciting year, despite obviously what's going on right now. We still get to feel a little bit of excitement about Star Wars. I mean, we get to enjoy a nice episode of Clone Wars every week, which I love that they're being released once a week. I think that's great. The whole binge watching stuff is kind of annoying. It's too easy. I miss the days of having to watch something week to week, having to wait a week to find out what will happen. So anyway, so we're gonna jump over here, switch gears, and we're gonna jump to Hasbro, and I'm gonna jump right here to HasbroPulse.com. You see some stuff here, and we're gonna talk about some of these new releases. And I'm going to search here by Star Wars. And here's the deal, Hasbro. You're coming out with some really cool stuff. And I'm proud of you for it. I am. I truly am. I'm proud that you're doing this. I mean, you're releasing a vintage collection, K2SO. I mean, look at that. K2SO vintage collection. How awesome is that? Look at the body. Look at that. I mean, the articulation is probably going to be cool. I don't know how he's going to stand because he has like those skinny legs and then like that big body, upper body. He's kind of like a bodybuilder that focuses on back and chest and like misses arm day and leg day. But yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. How is this figure going to stand up on its own weight? It looks really cool though. It just looks really cool. Now I have the regular 3 3/4 inch figure that came out when Rogue One came out. But why wasn't this figure released when Rogue One came out? I mean, you had the Jyn Erso figure vintage collection, you have Cassian vintage collection, you have the Stormtrooper vintage collections that came out. Why wasn't this figure released? Like, and now you're only releasing this one figure from Rogue One in vintage collection form. It's just, I don't understand why Hasbro does that. It's just so bizarre. It's so bizarre. But it's a great figure, great looking figure. It's on pre-order right now, and I guess you still can pre-order it. It says you'll get it by August 1st, which is kind of crazy. Here we go. The next one in the line, we have vintage Clone Wars Clone Commander Wolf. Now, this is kind of a re-release because I'm pretty sure this figure has been out before, but there's some more detail, you know. There's definitely more detail, and these new, I guess, what do you call them, scans of the face are pretty interesting. This guy looks really cool. Although, you know who I would want to see in vintage collection form is Echo. I mean, if you've been watching season 7 of Clone Wars, those first 4 episodes, my gosh, Echo, man, with the tubes coming out. I mean, very reminiscent of like Darth Vader under the suit, you know. So, you know, I would love to see that figure. Oh my gosh, if they made that figure vintage collection form, that would be such a cool figure. But this is a really cool figure, Commander Wolf. He looks really cool. I love that helmet. I mean, he has that really cool scar. Yeah, a very, very, very cool figure. Also available for pre-order. And this is not a sponsored video, by the way. I don't condone Hasbro. Unfortunately, they are the company that puts out all these toys. I just don't like the way they put them out, and I don't like their price points. Like, for example, this right here. The Vintage Collection Imperial Troop Transport toy. This thing is amazing. It's amazing, guys. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see this in person. I want to buy this so bad. It's available. You can order it. Best Buy has it. You can order it there. I think Walmart also has it online. You can order it. But $69, $70? Like, man, you know, I'm playing I'm going to play the long game on this one. Similarly to the hover tank. Hover tank was, I think, $60. I think it was $59, or maybe it might have been $69 as well. I mean, you can get it on Amazon now for I think 38 bucks or something like that. I'm still kind of playing the long game with that as well because I definitely want that. I'm waiting for that to be like 30, 25, you know. So the same thing with this. I'm kind of waiting for this to go down a little bit in price, but this is just an amazing vehicle. And again, why do they release these things little by little like that? It's almost as if this company has to like save their pennies in their piggy bank before they can go out and produce a toy and release it. I mean, when you think about like the sail barge and the fact that they had to crowdfund for that thing, it's kind of embarrassing that they did that. Anyway, the next up here at Hasbro Pulse, we have the Star Wars The Child, the 6.5-inch action figure. Now, this is 6.5-inch action figure, so this is not a Black Series. This is just, and you can't really tell from these pictures, like, what this thing is going to look like. It almost looks like it's maybe about the size of a Pop doll, which I'm not really a fan of. But, I mean, man, that Yoda baby is really cool looking. Although I don't know about this figure. Also available on pre-order, $20. Yeah, you know, it's like the price of a Black Series figure. This one that I know I've seen people already getting these from Target is the Star Wars The Child, the talking plush, which I think that's what this one is. Yeah, this is the one. I've seen pictures on Instagram already. Some folks have already picked this guy up, and this is super cute. Yeah, $24.99. It says it's on pre-order, but I think you can order it from Target if I'm not mistaken. And then of course you have the Black Series, The Child. I mean, they have 4 different versions of The Child. This is the Black Series, so this is the one that's in proportion to the Black Series Mandalorian figure, 6-inch Black Series. So this is actually the one that I definitely want to pick up, because I already have my Mandalorian. I have the IG-11. Just saying hi to some folks on Instagram. We are live on Instagram and live on Jedi Toy Masters on YouTube right now. This is Star Wars Car Talk. Not in the car tonight. We're not in the car tonight. This is our podcast that's regularly releases every Friday. We're doing it live today, and it'll probably be in podcast form either tomorrow or definitely by Monday. We're just going over some. If you want to check us out on YouTube. We're going live. I got my split screen here. We're looking at Hasbro Pulse and some of the stuff that they got coming out, and we're just talking about it. We're just hanging out. We got Star Wars The Bounty Collection, the Child 2.2-inch collectible figure. I mean, I don't know about that. Let's just move on. And here we go. We got the Black Series Count Dooku Force FX lightsaber, $214. I mean, my goodness. I can't really send you the link right now, but if you just go on YouTube and you search Jedi Toy Masters, go to our channel, and we are live right now. So I'm pretty sure if I go on there myself, if I go on YouTube and I do the old search, YouTube is the second biggest search engine next to Google, and Google owns it, so that's pretty interesting. So yeah, right there, if you go to youtube.com and you search Jedi Toy Masters, our live is right there on our channel. It's right at the top. Just click on that and you can join us live and see what we're doing. So I just want to make sure that you can see it. Yeah, there we go. They're right there. Look at that. A little bit of a delay, but we're there. Okay, so let's go. Ooh, that's for later. So here we go. Count Dooku Force FX lightsaber. I gotta tell you, this thing looks really cool. I mean, I don't collect these lightsabers because I can't afford these things. I mean, they're super expensive, but they're beautiful. I mean, if you can swing it, these things are amazing. I think they're awesome. And Count Dooku always has that cool, like, curved lightsaber. Every time my sons see it, they always ask me, like, why is his lightsaber broken? Why is it bent like that? And I don't even know what to tell them. I'm like, because he wanted it like that. I don't know. Here we go. This is another vintage figure that's actually been out. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to go to Walmart in almost 2 months. Definitely this past month I haven't been able to go for obvious reasons. But also, like, my local Walmart is like over an hour away. And usually I stop at the Walmart. If you've seen some of our videos here on YouTube, our toy hunt videos, anytime we're at Walmart, it's because we're at the Walmart that's on the way upstate to visit my parents. And usually we go up there, visit my parents, and we stop at, there's 3 Walmarts actually on the way, and I usually try to hit at least 2 of them. And our Instagram feed just died. But yeah, we tried to hit them up, but I haven't been able to go to a Walmart, and it's really sad because right now we got all these amazing figures coming out, and it's especially this retro collection. We're gonna get to those. So here we go, vintage collection Clone Trooper. So this is just like your plain run-of-the-mill Clone Trooper. Now this is definitely like a re-release. Like I have a few of these that I've bought loose on eBay, and they look just like this guy. So it's kind of just a re-release. We have the Black Series Sith Jet Trooper. I'm not really interested in that. And I think that's pretty much it. Although, oh no, wait, here we go. We have the Kit Fisto lightsaber. We have the Asajj Ventress lightsaber. That's really cool. Again, if you can swing it, if you're one of those people that collects these lightsabers, man, I envy you, because I think these things are awesome. I have a couple of the old FX lightsabers, the ones that are a little bit cheaper. I actually picked those up a long time ago at Toys R Us, and I saved them, and I actually let my boys open them up for Christmas last year, and they love them. They're great. They're they're plastic, but they look really cool, really really cool. So again, we are live on Instagram. Once again, we got cut off, but we're also live on YouTube. This is Star Wars Car Talk, not in the car, in my house, and we're just talking Star Wars tonight. We're hanging out. Where I have a window opened up here. If you want to check us out live on YouTube, Jedi Toy Masters, just go to our channel and watch us live. We're checking out. We're going through Hasbro Pulse, and we're looking at everything that's out right now, and we're just hanging out. This is what I would normally do, like if I'm bored and I'm looking at what's coming out or what's out or what's available. I do my little search on Hasbro Pulse, and then maybe I go to Walmart.com and maybe Target.com and Amazon and just see what's out there. I got, sometimes you find some stuff. But here we go. We got Wicket Vintage Collection. It's kind of cool, this figure. I like that he has that little cape and his little satchel, his little pouch, where he keeps his food, his snacks, his berries. He's got his little, I don't know, he's got like this little Frodo thing, little cloak going on, and like a little patch or something. What is that? I don't know what that is, but the little Ewok Wicket figure looks really cool. And these other figures actually are pretty cool, man. You have Vintage Collection Obi-Wan Kenobi and Vintage Collection Anakin Skywalker, and these are like the Clone Wars versions. So you have Obi-Wan with his kind of like clone trooper armor, which is really cool. Thanks for the sub, bro. I appreciate it. And yes, hang out with us right here. If you want to join along, just go to Hasbro.com and Hasbro Pulse and just look at these nice close-ups of these figures. This Obi-Wan looks kind of cool. I don't know what's up with his hair though. It's like two-tone. Is it that he's sweaty? He got hot or something? But he has two lightsabers. He's holding two lightsabers. I guess it's because, I don't know, they posed it like that. One is ignited and one isn't. So it's kind of like it comes with the two lightsabers. That's kind of cool. Same with Anakin. Although the Anakin face sculpt on this looks kind of weird. It doesn't even look like him. Very, very weird. Really bad paint job too. If you look around his neck and like right on the side of his face, it just looks really bad. I don't know about this figure, but my boys love Anakin. They love Obi-Wan. They love Clone Wars. Like they, I'm trying to pick up as many like loose Clone War figures. 3 3/4. I mean, they're pricey, because obviously they're in demand. People love them. They collect them. They army build with them. I've been trying to just pick them up just because we play with them. The Darth Maul Vintage Collection. Darth Maul is really cool. Again, brings both lightsabers. This is on pre-order. This says available to ship in September. That's ridiculous. He's got the cool cloak. Has a little bit of a Kylo Ren feel to it. And he's got the ignited lightsaber and the non-ignited one, and he has like this little binocular thing that when he's like searching for them on Tatooine. Very cool. Very, very cool. And then you got Lando, you got Han, C3 Vintage Collection C3PO with that silver shin. It's kind of cool too. And then you got some Black Series. Black Series fix. Here we go. You got Cara Dune Vintage Collection. Man, I'm so mad that I can't like make it to a Walmart and that you can't even get them online for a decent price. But I missed out on the Mandalorian. Let's see if I can find them here. This board game is really cool. The Death Star board game, Escape from the Death Star. We just played it last night. My boys love it. And I love that it was re-released, that game. Really cool. The Boba Fett helmet. I mean, I've seen pictures, people posting at their Walmarts. They have the displays already set up for this new wave. And you got the Black Series Boba Fett helmet there and all the retro collection, these Vintage Collection figures. I'm so upset that I can't even get to a Walmart and see them for myself. Here, I got a message here. Don't feel the need to yes, definitely. I will check out your page. Check out Scorchy's Star Wars store. Yes, I'll definitely check it out. I'm kind of bummed, man, that I can't. I haven't. I wanted that Mandalorian figure. I wanted the Cara Dune figure. I wanted the Remnant Stormtrooper figure. And honestly, like I would even consider like buying 2 of each just to keep one and then open the other to play with, because my boys love the Mandalorian. They love it. I mean, even today we were gonna watch a movie. We actually watched the Rocketeer. It's on Disney Plus. Amazing movie, Rocketeer. If you've never seen the Rocketeer, you got to check it out. And my middle guy was asking. He's like, "Wait, Can we watch The Mandalorian? Is season 2 out yet?" And I'm like, "No, man. Season 2's not out yet, bro." All right, so check this out. First of all, we got Vintage Collection Luke Skywalker with his like Jedi Knight cloak. This is cool because this has been the debate of many arguments about the cloak, because some iterations don't bring the cloak. Some of it make it like it's a robe, but it's actually a cloak. It's actually a cloak that he wears in the movie, and he just kind of like whips it off. So this is the first time we actually have the accurate cloak on this figure. Really cool looking figure. Also on pre-order. December. Available to ship in December. That's ridiculous. Black Series Carbonized Collection Stormtrooper. This actually looks really cool. This is really, really cool. I love my my Mandalorian carbonized figure. I think it's awesome. And this one looks awesome as well. So if you get a chance, it has that cool little 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back sticker on there. If you get the chance, definitely check that out. Just the pictures of it look amazing. I can't wait to see. I would love to see what it looks in person. But the piece de resistance. Here we go. We have Vintage Collection Remnant Stormtrooper. We got the power droid. I guess that's isn't that the Gonk droid? A lot of really cool figures here. Shadow Trooper, really cool. Vintage Collection, Luke. Mandalorian Vintage Collection. Oh man, I wish I can get this guy. But here we go. We have the carbonized Black Series Boba Fett. This is a must-have. It's already sold out. It says sold out. I think you can pre-order it like Best Buy and maybe even Target or Walmart. I'm not sure. Plenty of other places. But this thing looks amazing. It looks impressive. Obviously, it's the same figure with a nice little paint job, but it looks amazing. Look at that fabric cape. Very, very cool. I can't wait for that. All right, so we're going to jump over here to yakface.com. If you don't know about Yakface, YAKFACE.com, I mean, this is a great website. Follow them on Instagram. They always get the heads up on things. They're constantly posting. They repost a lot of images. People tag them, and it's a great way of knowing like what's out in stores. I mean, that's how I kind of found out that there's a lot of stores, a lot of Walmarts, like in Florida. Look at this one. A Walmart in Florida already has the retro collection. Here he goes. Oh, this is another Walmart, I think in Ohio. Already has the end caps with all the figures out. This is great for them, awful for me. But somebody already found the child Black Series figure. It doesn't say where, but it's So Yakface is a great resource, and retro collection is definitely it's something that I've been wanting to. I was hoping to get my hands on. Don't know if it's going to happen. I actually tried to pre-order some on Walmart. Don't know if that got confirmed, but I just really want the Boba Fett, the retro collection Boba Fett, just to have one. I don't want an original. I don't want to pay the money for the original. So this is the next best thing. So for the next couple minutes, let's talk about that. Let's talk about retro collection, because there's a lot of debate. Everybody's about the vintage fans are all about no repro, and this is repro. But you know, as a fan of the movies, as a fan of Star Wars in general, like, you know, yeah, I like certain figures to collect of modern, but I really like these retro figures because it's like the only way that we can actually relive that. We can recreate that for ourselves of buying this type of figure, the vintage style figure, and opening them up and wow, this is so cool, you know. I mean, you know, an opened, decent shape, used Boba Fett, you're gonna pay like $30-$40 for it, you know. So why? I mean, it's worth it. Obviously, if you're a collector, if you collect the original, the vintage figures, but what if you just want one because you think it's a cool figure and you've always wanted one, and you're not gonna put it in a display case. You're gonna like open it up and play with it, put it on your desk and play with it with your boys. I mean, I have 3 sons that love Star Wars, so we're gonna play with them. Just today they were upstairs. They woke up and the first thing they wanted to do was break out all the clone troopers that I have and that we have figures and put them on the floor and start playing with them, and that's what they wanted to do. So, you know, why not? Why not have the retro collection? I think it's cool. And it's not like they're trying to trick anybody. The packaging says retro collection. They put a fat sticker on there. You know, they kind of purposely make them look all worn, and it's a great recreation of these classic figures. I think there's nothing wrong with it. You know, some people will argue and will criticize Hasbro that, you know, they're going to the well. They can't come up with any good ideas, so they're just doing that. I think this is a great new idea. And it's not new because you have G.I. Joe figures coming out that are like, when the 25th anniversary Joes came out, that was almost like re-releasing them with a similar card backs. You have Masters of the Universe doing the same thing. You have Transformers doing the same thing. You know, but you know, yeah, there's opinions on everything. Some collectors are not going to like these, and that's fine. Then don't get them. But don't knock the fans that do want to buy these. However, I will criticize the fact that, yeah, there are people that are going to like buy all of these up and then try to price gouge them, and, you know, and that's not right, you know, because at the end of the day, I think these are priced kind of decently. I think if I remember correctly, the first wave that came out of the retro collection, they were like $9.99. I think they might have been a little bit more, but I remember seeing them for like $9.99. And then at one point Target had them like buy one get one half off and stuff. And like, you know, I bought the whole set because they were great. They looked great, and I'm hoping that they would be successful enough so that you can get the Empire Strikes Back retro, and here they are, Empire Strikes Back retro line. I think that's awesome. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to get them. They just look so cool. The last couple of toy shows that I've been to, I've been you know, trying to buy a couple of like decent, you know, Empire Strikes Back figs, and I was able to get like a snow trooper, which an AT-AT driver I got a Bespin Han and a Chewie, so I put those two in my Millennium Falcon because they fit perfectly in there. But look at that, look at this display case at Walmart. Look at that. That's beautiful. That Boba Fett and that I have fond memories of that little vintage Yoda with the little snake around his neck. And a quick story, because growing up, you know, I was too young. By the time I was old enough to know about Star Wars, the figures had already been gone from stores. And my cousins, who are older than me, they had tons of Star Wars toys. They actually had the Darth Vader carrying case, that big Darth Vader carrying case. But I actually have one now. And they had one of those filled with all their figures. And I just remember going to their house and looking at them going, wow, these are so cool. Like, I missed the boat on these. But at that point, I was already into G.I. Joe figures, which was the same thing, 3 3/4 inch figures that were awesome. But I just remember looking at that Yoda with that little snake and just being so confused. Like, why does he have a snake? Like, he doesn't have a snake in the movie. And at one point, I was like, almost like my memory was kind of like getting the best of me, because I'm thinking, did he turn his staff into a snake? Like, like Moses? Like I actually thought that, because I'm like, wait, but why does the toy have a snake? If you don't see a snake in the movie, I mean, there's snakes on Dagobah, but you don't see a snake around his neck on Dagobah. He has a little cane. So that always confused me. So that figure, like that image of that figure is like ingrained in my head. And so I just can't, I can't wait to get my hands on this figure just because of that, just to have it, because it's so cool. And of course, Boba Fett. I just want a retro little vintage Boba Fett. It's there's something about these figures and the fact that they don't have like super articulation. They're just so simple, but they're just so like they're so special. Something about them that's just so special. It just, especially for Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back, it just has holds a special place in my heart. It just does. So anyway, that's what I wanted to do tonight. Test out this live stream and have a little Star Wars chat. Star Wars Car Talk, not in the car. So if you're joining us on Instagram, thank you for joining us on Instagram. If you're joining us here on YouTube live or watching this after, thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, congratulations. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're listening to this in podcast form after the fact, sorry for the lack of descriptive talk when I was looking at a lot of these figures on the screen. And hopefully, listening to this in podcast form, maybe later on you'll go on and check it out over on YouTube. So that's it for now. I hope this turned out okay, because I'm going to have to do a couple of these moving forward, at least until we can be out and about in the car, because I love recording this podcast in the car. I love doing this show in the car. It's just fun to drive around and talk about Star Wars or whatever's on my mind regarding Star Wars. So just to recap, Clone Wars Season 7 is awesome. I can't wait to see this week's episode. It's supposed to be epic, and I'm looking forward to watching it with my boys. Retro Collection Star Wars is out. They're at Walmarts, a lot of Walmarts out there. If you find them, please send me a message on Instagram at Jedi Toy Masters and say, hey, there's a bunch of Yodas and Boba Fett's here. You want one? I would gladly take it. And go to Hasbro Pulse if you want to drool over these amazing photos of all these figures that are in pre-order and whatnot. And Yakface, yakface.com. They're not sponsoring me, but I just think they're a great website because they really are able to just keep us informed. As you know, they're right on their website. It says by the fans for the fans, serving Star Wars collectors worldwide, and that's exactly what they do. So follow them on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at Jedi Toy Masters. And make sure you like and subscribe. So, we're going to keep telling you that because you're not doing it. Just do it right now. Like and subscribe. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. I hope this live stream wasn't too boring. And, I enjoyed it. This is kind of cool. I can't wait to see how it turned out. And hopefully the audio was good. Hopefully visually it was decent. Like I said in the beginning, I just threw this together in like not even 30 minutes. So hopefully this looks decent. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And as always, may the Force be with you.